What's up, Jorge? Oh, happy Friday. Kung Fu Dork. Hey, everybody. Make Luke rad again. What's up? Hola. Aniva Jimbo. What's up? Dinosaur Mistress. Oh, thank you, Phantasmagorical. I like making them. It's really fun. Thank you. Happy Friday, man. I just got off work. As usual. I missed last week's live stream because I was on vacation. So I was out hanging out with my family. But I caught a little bit tonight. Hey, Animatable Alex, what's up? Saludos, Colombia, what's up? Hola. How's everybody doing tonight? I didn't get to advertise tonight too. Usually I put up a little video or a story that says what I'm going to be talking about tonight, but I wasn't quite sure if I was going to be able to make it, so I didn't make the subject. But I'm thinking about education being the subject tonight, because I get a lot of questions constantly from either young animators or young artists who are curious about school and what they need to succeed in stop motion. And I think I can help a lot with that for anyone interested. And probably if stop motion save you a lot of money. But I'll wait for some more people to show up and we can start talking about a little bit of that. And then I'll also show you guys a little bit of a collaboration progress pic of what I'm working on right now. I got some really awesome collabs happening this year as part of my kind of social media push. And also, since I've been directing for Blizzard now, I don't get to animate every day as my CG job lately. I've been doing just directing, so I'm really like missing animation, of course. And so I got to do it at night, basically. That's the only way I'm going to get to scratch that itch. So I've got all these collabs going with these really talented artists and all these big kind of ideas on what I want to create this year for you guys, for me, and in the education stuff that I'm talking about for the channels. Did any of you guys get to see the claymation episode that I put out about a week ago? The werewolf claymation episode? Hey, JJ, the super turtle. Not sure. If you did, I'm not sure. I haven't checked, but I think it's over 1,000 views. But I was just curious if it was at all interesting or helpful. So much of the videos that I'm making or have been making on my Instagram, on my YouTube, I don't know if they're going to be boring as hell or if it's, interesting or whatever to the audience. I'm just trying to share as much as I can and give a little bit of an inside peek as to what I'm doing as an animator. Please keep doing that then, Juan. Juan says, oh, that's good. Okay, I will. I'm working on a new one right now because, like I said earlier, I'm doing a collab with some puppet artists, some really talented puppet artists that I've met over the years. And I'm kind of doing an unboxing for a bunch of them. And the one I'm animating right now, I'm doing an episode on that one, and it's beautiful. An artist named Suzanne Moulton. For all of you, go check out, follow Suzanne Moulton. Moulton, Suzanne Moulton on Instagram. She has a Patreon. She's an amazing puppet maker. She was the head of hair on Coraline. She is making a film right now called Nowhere's Wolf, which is really, really cool. And she made these amazing puppets, and she's sharing her knowledge on Patreon all the time. So if you guys want to know about some puppet creation information, go check out her Patreon. She's tons of knowledge, and she made my puppet that I'll show you guys tonight. Hey Justin, I have a question what's the usual career trajectory of an animator? I'm still an undergrad design student in my last semester and just curious about that. Okay, career trajectory of an animator. Usually these days, if it's CG animation or 2D animation, you're focused on that in college already. So as you graduate, you create a demo reel and you apply for jobs. Animation assistants, junior animators, associate animators, and hopefully you get a job somewhere where you learn the craft in how it works in television, how it works in film, how it works in video games, whatever field you're working in. If you're a design student, that's different. That's more like like concept art or viz dev or something like that. And that can be applied in many places, but I imagine it's very similar. You get a portfolio, I should say, that you apply to all those companies. But as far as the trajectory, once you're in, then you're working for studios. You're jumping around job to job depending on what you're doing. Getting better, looking for more work, growing your skills until you might become a regular animator, a senior animator 2, a lead animator, supervisor. There's a lot of positions for animation people. Your videos are awesome, man. Thank you so much. Hey, Seb Dog, good to see you here. I did you guys should go check out too. I did a podcast with the Sab Dog right here. If you see him on the picture here, and it went really fun. I put it up on my Twitter today. I put it on my Facebook. Go check it out. We talk about a lot of things, and it was a fun time. Okay, is the Dragon Frame Bluetooth keypad better or the cabled keypad? Well, they're exactly the same. One has a cord and one doesn't. So I use the cord because I've used the same one for a long time. I'm sure the Bluetooth would be awesome because I don't have to think about, my wires being dragged or short or whatever. But then you got to charge it, right? Or it's got to have batteries. That's the only down I can see with having the Bluetooth version. Oh boy, there he goes. Sab Dog's asking, what's the story behind the head tattoos? Okay, so I get asked this constantly. And sometimes I get tired of answering it, but I'll give you another one here on the live stream. So Sab Dog, I used to draw comic books years ago. And all the characters in the comic that I was drawing, all the male characters had head tattoos. They were all kind of bald men with designs on their head. And the main character who would start off every episode of the comic had this mark on his head. So he had the 3 stripes, dots going down the back. There's a bunch of stuff going on, going from one person to another person. It's like dot to dot to dot, right? So it's a shared story. And every time he would kick off the story, he would take his 3 fingers and drag them down his head and point them to the audience and then begin telling the story. So for years, I used to shave this into my head as I was the storyteller, writing these comics, drawing these comics. And then at a certain point, I was just like, I'm just going to put it up there forever, right? It's just part of me. I'm the storyteller in my animated film, my world. So that's what the tattoo represents. It's from an old comic book I used to draw. So now you know. Do you find crossing over from stop motion to CG hard? No, not at all. CG is easy. And I'm not dissing CG, but CG is so much easier than stop motion. You work in pieces. You can make improvements constantly. You block out your shot. It's just so forgiving. And the computer does so much work for you that you're able to apply the craft of animation so much easier with so less problems to solve. You could just focus on animation and movement. So it's really easy going from stop motion to CG outside of getting over your personal hangups with maybe using a technical program versus your hands. Like I've seen that for some people that are stop motion, but for me it's really easy. I have no problem using a computer program. Hello, saludos. William, what's up, man? Good to see you. And then we got, do you draw or paint as an artist? Absolutely. I absolutely draw. I've drawn my whole life. I kind of just told you a little bit with that comic book story, but yeah, all my characters that I have in any of my short films or anything, I always draw them. I always design my own puppets. And that's one of the fun bits. I don't draw like I used to, but every time I start a new film, I always design my characters. Every time, usually I storyboard my stuff too. Like I've storyboarded in my past films. So there's like a period every time I start a new project where I really draw. And then I kind of go away from it for a while, outside of thumbnails, like little sketches as I animate. But yeah, my family is an artist family. We do everything. I don't paint so much, but I'll do some digital coloring stuff. Yeah. And so are a lot of the people here in school right now? Are they students? Are they working professionals? Just fans of stop motion? Because to kind of say what I was going to say again is what tonight's subject I was thinking was going to possibly be about is school. It's education, animation education. So, I went to art school many years ago, and it was a different world, right? I went to school because there was not a lot of ways to get the information on how to be an animator or how to be a special effects artist. It wasn't out there, right? So it was in little articles here and there in a magazine like Fangoria or a Starlog or like all these old like Cinefex book magazines and stuff like that. So I would mine those as much as I could, but you couldn't really find out how to be a certain kind of artist. So here we are 25 years later, and it's all available for free on the internet. All of it. You absolutely can learn to be a professional animator on the internet with all the access we have to forums, to animation groups, like there's so much like tutorials, professionals sharing the information on how it works. And then if you do want to educate, you can really focus and get like personal mentorship, like Animation Mentor for CG, iAnimate, Anim Squad. For me, for instance, I teach privately. You have access, not a lot of people, but people have access to me directly through private education. I just hop on Zoom with my students and I teach them one-on-one exactly what they would need to know. But you don't even need me because there's so much information with books and like I said, communities online that you could absolutely become a professional stop motion animator or CG animator without going to school. And school is so expensive now. When I went, I thought I would never pay it back, and it was $25,000 for my whole education. And now it's like $200,000. It's ridiculous all over the place, and it's just too much of a burden to take on, in my opinion. And half the time you get out of school, you're not completely educated in really what you need to know to be a professional animator, or you're not at the level of a professional yet to really get a job. So then now you got to get further education, right? So it's really tricky. And I have a daughter who's an artist, and she's going to art school, right? She's going to go to England and go to art school and figure out what she wants to do with her art. She has an aim. She has a lot of information on what she is into, but it's a lot cheaper in England than it is here in the United States. So it was kind of like, okay, for the social growth of going and having those experiences, it's really, really, really special, because I did love that part. I loved going and being surrounded by artists, and then just, you know, growing up kind of and experiencing, you know, being alone and making your own decisions, and then being responsible for all your own work. So like all that's crazy valuable, but for the price and the unclarity of if you're going to get a job or not, it's just a little too risky, I think, these days. So I got some questions here. You've probably answered this before, but where would you send a demo reel of your stop motion? Apply to every studio on earth. Every studio. If you are a stop motion animator, you want a stop motion job, you apply to every studio. So Leica, Stupid Buddy, Shadow Machine, Aardman, you name it. Any place you can think of that does stop motion animation, you send your demo reel to. That's how you go find a job, or you go knock on the door. It's ridiculous, but 25 years ago, I came out to California with a bag full of VHS tapes and my portfolios printed out. And I literally took the bus from building to building all over Los Angeles. And I slept on the beach waiting to try and find a job. My dad bought me a ticket out to California, and I just bummed my way around here with another fellow student, actually, that was doing the same dang thing. And we literally walked into places like DreamWorks and Disney, and then tried to get an interview, tried to give them our work. It was really hustle. So it's a lot easier now when you just link a demo reel link and send it in the mail, send it in your email. Do you need to know character design in CG before animating CG? Not at all. CG is so different. It's so anyone can do CG. You don't have to be an artist. You don't have to. All you need to know is how to use the program and the craft, the understanding of how animation works. That's all you need. And you could be a great animator. Of course, you're going to push and learn and study and do all kinds of things to make, yourself better. But you do not have to be a traditional artist anymore. I used to think you had to be an artist, a 2D artist, to do anything in animation. And I have been doing this for 25 years, and I've seen it over and over again. In CG animation, anyone can be an animator. It's just learning the craft of animation and applying it to this computer tool. Some tips for beginners. Tips. I get asked this all the time. It's so broad. Are we talking about CG? Are we talking about stop motion? Are we talking about 2D? There's so many things. Tips for beginners. It's just learn animation as far as the craft. I always say get the Animator Survival Kit. Study the fundamentals, the principles of animation, and apply them to your work. And you will stand out from the crowd. That's my tip. All right. Well, I'm going to take you guys downstairs since I'm not really getting that much questions tonight. Probably on subject matter, and I'll show you a little bit of the collab I'm working on right now. Bam, bam, bam. Hayden. So I'm in the garage here. I've been working my nights on a new puppet with, like I said earlier, Suzanne Moulton made me this amazing puppet, and this amazing package that I'm kind of bringing to life now. And I will show it to you in a moment. Sorry. Kind of gave a little bit of a sneak peek the other night, but you can kind of see right now He's right up there in the air. And it's a little bit hard to tell, but Suzanne made me this amazing box recreation of the cat from Coraline. And she is such an incredible artist. She made me not only the cat replica, which I don't have the head here, but you can see this beautiful body with fur and shoulder blades and all this gorgeous stuff. But she also made me a complete mouth kit so that I can animate dialogue. You can see that. So I'm going to be able to not only animate the cat, but also make the cat talk. This is beautiful. All of those mouth shapes link into the bottom of the skull with a magnet. And it's really going to be cool. I'm not only testing out the body right now, but I'm also testing out the dialogue. When I get to a certain part in the animation, I'm going to make the cat say something. And also for Suzanne, I think I already mentioned it. Of course, Suzanne's Nowhere's Wolf, but go check it out. Suzanne Moulton, she's amazing. And I'll see here. Oh, I got a picture. I can show you what she looks like too. She's an incredible artist, guys. Oh, I don't have it. Oh, here it is. It's upstairs. Okay, Coraline. Can you see her there? That's Suzanne. Super artist. Okay, so I'm going to share with you guys a little peek. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I should show you guys too much, but the part I'm working on, maybe I'll just show the beginning bit. That way I keep the end for some secret sauce. I'm going to finish it this weekend, and then I'll be able to post it next week. I'm really excited about it. Okay. Let's see here. All right. Kitty cat time. Sneak peek for all you guys who came to the live stream. All right. Can you see? Here's our cat. I'm going to hit some play. What's going on? Okay, ready? Steady. Whoop. Little peek. I'm going to turn off the light. You can't see that very well. But it's a pretty small puppet. It's like an arcade in here when I'm animating, and I love it. Oh no, did I just lose a bulb? I think I just lost a bulb. Fuck. God damn it. All right, here we go again. Might be able to see a little better. Get to see that sweet tail moving around. Woo! So I'm having fun. I'm having a lot of fun here. Oh, got some questions. I'll answer them in arcade land. Hold on a second here. All right. Which Motu character are you most excited to handle when they're out? Oh man, you know, I was thinking about this. Jazzy Draws. He's a great artist. Go check him out. I was thinking about this today actually because I haven't got to animate all the different characters that are out, and I have some big ideas for the upcoming Motu year because I would like to do another short this year. That would be really fun for me. And it's not that I want new ones even. It's just touching some of the ones that I haven't touched yet. So Merman, Stratos, Trapjaw. Trapjaw has always been my favorite, but I'm not necessarily super excited to animate him so much as I am Merman. And most people wouldn't guess that. But I have ideas of what I want to do with Merman that are going to be really special. And I think it'll blow the minds of all the fans out there. So, because the idea I have is so rich and exciting, I have to give Merman the #1 spot. Even though he might not be the most interesting character to a lot of Motu fans, he is to me. I'm really looking forward to animating that character and the environment I get to create too. Is storyboarding difficult doing before an animation, like noting down what you want in the animation? No, not at all. I don't think it's hard at all. I think it's actually, if you're worried about, like they call them thumbnails, right? Thumbnails don't have to be incredible drawings. They can be stick figures, in fact. It's just information for you. It's posing information. It's a roadmap. I think of it as like a treasure map. I'll often call it a treasure map of what I want to animate, right? So if you just think of it that way and you don't put pressure on yourself that it has to be a gorgeous drawing, you're going to be fine. So you don't have to be good or overwhelmed by it. It's not hard. And you can make them as nice or unnice as you want too. I enjoy doing it because it's a fun little way to draw, and and then I don't put pressure on myself. Like if I'm doing a real drawing, I obviously want it to look at a certain level of good. So I can get upset with myself maybe a little bit more there. Do you need to learn to make puppets to be a stop motion animator? Nope, but it helps. Obviously, you could just buy an armature or an action figure, or team up with an artist who knows how to make puppets, and you'd be able to successfully become an animator. I think it really is part of the fun of being a stop motion animator, is actually getting out there and getting your hands dirty, making puppets. It's going to inform you as an animator on what you want your puppets to be able to do. But it's not necessary. I think you could team up with other artists online that are puppet makers, or you could just use toys or buy an armature or something like that. That would work just fine. Right on. Jazzy. Yeah, I'm interested in doing some more Motu, of course. I got a few characters recently that I didn't have in my original batch of animations that I did. So I think after I do a couple more of these collabs that I'm working on, I will maybe take a moment to explore some of them, see how they move, and get some more Motu footage. And also for the Motu fans out there, Motu is Masters of the Universe, to anyone who doesn't know. I'm going to be putting up some deleted scenes, some stuff that didn't make the edit of the original film. So I'm going to have some new content soon to share with the living room acting that I did and whatnot. So there'll be some new Motu footage and stuff coming soon. Yeah. How? Right. So, any other questions for educational means? Anything you guys are interested in that way before I jump subjects and go to something else? This cat too, just so you guys know, the one that I'm doing Suzanne made, I've never really animated a cat before, and I should have studied a little more than I did, but I just wanted to jump in and have some fun. All I really did was I watched a little bit of Coraline on YouTube before I started, and I just watched the cat and kind of the cadence, and the cadence is like the music of the cat. So the rhythm when you're animating, I'm doing it by feel, and I'm like ding 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 ding, like how quickly the steps come is music, right? It's like how fast the character moves. Ding 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 ding. The rhythm, ding 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 ding. Whatever the rhythm of the character is, if I kind of paid attention to that and I put it up here, so that when I came out here into the I was going to call it the gym, but the studio, I just brought that with me. But I wish I did a little more studying before I jumped into this big animation I'm doing. But it's still turning out okay. You guys saw a piece of it. I showed you about half. There's about half more that I've done. And like I said, I have about half more to go, or a third more to go after that. So it'll be probably 240 frames or something like that in the end. And maybe 4 days of full animation. Right. Which is your favorite Leica character? I like Coraline a lot. Who's my favorite character? There's a lot of characters. I like Neil a lot from Paranorman. Maybe I can do it that way because that's too big of a question. In Coraline, my favorite character is Coraline. In Paranorman, my favorite character is, I think it's Neil. I really love Uncle P too. Uncle Prendergast, his puppet's amazing. But I think it's Neil, because Neil was just so cute and heartwarmingly sweet. In Box Trolls, my favorite character... I think it was the villain. The main villain in that was my favorite. His long top hat, his funny little bean body, long legs. He was pretty great. In Kubo and the Two Strings, my favorite character was Beetle, for sure. I love that puppet. He was so cool. He was like the coolest, biggest, giant action figure ever. And I hardly got to animate him, which was very upsetting because he was so cool. But I only got like, I don't know, 3 or 4 shots. 3 shots maybe with him, that whole movie. I mainly did the sisters and Kubo and Monkey during that film. Missing Link. Missing Link. I guess, I think I like the Snow Yetis. And they were just kind of random background characters, but I really liked how they looked. The Soldier Yetis. I think they were my favorite characters in that. Yeah, that's my favorite. So those are my favorite from the movie so far from Leica. Are Hot Toys good to animate? Vico, I don't know. I've only animated one toy. And it's the Mo2, the Masters of the Universe toys. But I think they're pretty good to animate. There's other artists that I've seen animate them, and they seem to be doing pretty decent work. So I think they're decent. I don't know though. I recently, like I said, I just bought my kind of second toy that I'm really gonna try to animate. I'll do an unboxing on that pretty soon. But with all these collabs I'm doing, I have one new toy that I'm going to give a real whirl. So I'll report back on that too and let you know. But from what I'm seeing, you can pretty much animate any toy. You're just going to be dealing with limitations. I'm doing a boxing animation and I want to improve close-ups and camera angles. Also like distance shots. JJ the Super Turtle. That's awesome. I can't wait to see it. Yeah, it's just practice, hard work. Hard work, and you'll be able to do anything. Is the cat rigged or tied down to the surface? Good question. So this cat, I'll show you in the body. Obviously, I can't show you the face right now, but in these little tiny paws here, there's no tie downs. What we have here is Suzanne made me pins, just little tiny pins. And I just push them right through a little loop. I just squish them right through the toe. And that's my tie down. I just push it right in. And I don't know if you noticed, but the surface here that my character is animating on, this is just a foam gymnastics floor. That because I do gymnastics and stunts and stuff, I had some extra foam. And I'm like, obviously I can't pin into the wood table, so I just put that up there as something that would be, like foam or something that I could push into. And it's working great. I'm really impressed by, how simple it is, but, really effective for this puppet. It's gonna look, you saw a little bit of it. It looks pretty cool. Do you like Fantastic Mr. Fox? I do like Fantastic Mr. Fox. That's my wife Shell's favorite stop motion film. I'm a little bit more into Leica design sense. Their character designs are more appealing to me than Fantastic Mr. Fox, but I really appreciate the textures, and obviously the humor from Wes Anderson and the storyline is really appealing too. So I like it. When I stop animating for about 4 days, my animation gets worse every time. How can I improve it? Keep practicing. It's practice. It's hard work. At a certain point, it's not going to get worse, especially if you are applying the animation principles, which I told you about several times. Is like, if you're doing good posing, anticipation, timing, spacing, like all the fundamentals that I've talked about, your work's going to get better. All you need to really work on is your technical ability, which is just moving smooth, following clean arcs. The performance is where, it's not going to change. Once you understand animation, you're going to be able to apply it anywhere. How long have you been animating that take of the cat? I wasn't able to animate all day, obviously, because I work full-time job. So, hey, what's up? So that's my daughter peeking in. So I'd say probably 2 full days so far. If I were to put all the nights that I'm kind of doing a few hours here, a few hours there together, about 2 days of work so far. And it's, I don't know what I'm at. I'm at like 160 or 70 frames, I think, total so far. So typically I've tried to do on ones, because I'm shooting mainly on ones. I'm at 190 frames. I'll try to do 4 seconds a day. This is fairly complex, movement, as far as like there's rigging involved in it, and there's, the character's moving through space. I'm animating the camera. There's a bunch of things happening, and it's a new puppet. But typically 4 seconds a day is what I try to do at home. Vico says, it's just because sometimes get stuck in the movements. Because I think Vico animates action figures, and they're not built for animation, so I understand. All right. Is it easy to transition from Blender to other professional software? I just started learning. I've never used Blender. I've never used it, but CG tends to be like CG, meaning like once you understand the concepts of how to model in one program, you can apply them to the concepts of another program, CG program, because they all kind of are based on similar concepts. And now that, Maya is kind of the industry standard for CG animation, they share a lot of similarities between different programs. So I don't think it would be that much of a jump. Once you understand the concepts of how to extrude and move vertices and pull and push, cut, it's similar in all of them. Do you combine frame rates like 1s and 2s? Yes, all the time. All the time. I mix 1s and 2s constantly because I don't want to sometimes do the tiny increments on 1s when you can't hardly see them at home, especially on my garage work. And it also, it looks better, in my opinion. It looks like stop motion still because you don't get super perfect fluidity, but it also gives you more information when you need it, like during fast actions and stuff like that. So if you're adding ones during a fast action, it's really good. Okay, let's see here. How can I find clients to make stop motion advertising? I don't know. You can pretty much reach out to anyone these days on the internet. So if there's a company you want to work for, you could probably just reach out to them. But I suggest that you have a good portfolio before you do it. Because if you're just reaching out to them and you don't have anything to show the quality of your work, nobody's going to talk to you. So, but you can reach out. Usually, like in my case, if you develop a certain amount of following, people will contact you. You don't have to reach out anymore because people will ask to work with you every day. Every single day, somebody asks me for work. They say, will you do a music video? Will you make a character of me for this? Will you animate my purse or my bag or something, or a jacket or a shirt? You know, whatever you can think of that they're doing product stuff with. I get asked every day. And so I think it's having enough work online that's getting noticed at a certain quality, and then they come to you. Right. Let's see here. Oh, 3 more. Wow. Hey, if we wish to start with stop motion, what will be your suggestion on that? How to start? Go to my channel, my YouTube channel, Justin Rasch Animation. Look up how to get started in stop motion. I think it's like episode 6 or 7. That gives you a lot of information right there. There's books out there, stop motion filmmaking. You can get stuff off Amazon that will give you all the information you need to get started. But really the simplest, easiest way is grab a piece of clay, download an app on your phone that will allow you to capture photography, and then play and see if you like it, right? And if you like it, then go to the next level. Make a character out of some clay. If you like it, again, maybe make a full puppet, maybe make a set. At some point, you'll buy a real camera. Get a webcam to start. It's really cheap, easy way to start. And then just keep adding to it instead of just diving into something, because you might not like it. It's hard. Hey, Justin, I have a question that's the usual... Oh, I think we saw that one. Okay, do you use any surface gauge or any other depth reference rather than onion skin? I answer this one every week too. I don't use any onion skins. I don't use any surface gauge. All I use is my eyes. My eyes and my fingers. That's all I do. And that is how I develop my eyes as an animator, to be able to see what I want to see. That's how, I develop feel for animation, which I've talked about many times, is by just using my eyes and my flipping. Flip, 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 and track. Track all the arcs of all the different body parts. But no onion skin, no surface gauges. What your opinion on Pixar's Soul? It was cool. It wasn't amazing. It was cool. I enjoyed it. I liked all kinds of things about it. It was cool. I liked the designs. I liked the feelings behind it, as far as like the statement it was making and everything like that. But it didn't move me in any really big way. I just thought it was cool. It was a good movie. Any app to make stop mo? Yeah, there's tons of apps. You can just type in stop motion apps and you're going to get 20 probably. Any of them will get you started. So check them out. All right. I got people asking to go live with me again. I don't know what this means, guys. Somebody's got to fill me in on this. All right, he's on gap year. Uh, Ooh, Jazzy Draws says, I cannot wait to see your take on Battle Armor, He-Man, and Skeletor. Yeah, I've seen him. I went looking for him at Target last weekend. But I couldn't find him. Of course. How did you rig the cat? Or is it tied to the surface? It's just pinned to the surface. What is the thing that you love and hate at the same time when you make animation? I love the illusion of life. I love it. I love seeing these things move that are completely lifeless. It feels like magic, like the hugest amount of magic. What do I hate? The problems. The problems. But at the same time, I love that because I love solving problems. The cat, you know, like it's so light that when you push on one part, the other part moves. They're not totally locked down feet, so they wiggle a little bit. Like little things like that make it challenging, right? But I just love it. I love the whole process. Punker Mike's been watching my content. So inspiring. Oh, thank you, Punker. Appreciate that. I have a YouTube channel. I'm trying to keep it alive. That's JJ saying he has a YouTube channel. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna jet early tonight because it's Friday night. I want to go watch a movie with my family and have some dinner. Well, I've got one more question. I'll answer it. A chapter in Animator Survival Kit to follow closely. It's not that specific. It's the fundamentals. Like, you know how in the book it says the fundamentals of animation, right? Good posing, good staging, anticipation, follow through, balance, timing, spacing, easing in, easing out. Everything that I'm saying to you right now, applying all of that to your animation. That's the book, right? That's the chapter. Seeing how there's all the walk cycles of animals and cartoons and run cycles and dogs. That stuff's great. You know, it gives you a jumping off point. But those fundamentals that I just mentioned, that's what you need. That's the stuff that is the most important to apply to your work as an animator. That's it, guys. Last question. One more. What's that? Somebody snuck one in. Okay, I'm a 3D modeler in a game studio for years, but want to shift to animation. Is it too late for me? No, it's never too late. You should watch my my podcast I just did. I just talk about this. It's never too late. Dude, you could be 55, 60 years old. It's never too late, man. Like I say it and I'll say it one more time. You live one time, guys. Once, and you want to do what you want to do with your life. If you're interested in being an animator and being an artist, take the jump, take the leap, do what you want to do, man. Like, it's never too late to do what you love or try something new. We get one try, one life. Go for it. Go for it. And that's a good way to go out. So I will see you guys next Friday. Later. Bye.